Howdy, folks. Back again for another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel, and Draco Springs.
In Purple Springs.
In Purple Springs. I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, everybody?
Go get you some Purple Springs.
Some Purple Springs. I like them Purple Springs. I run them every week on my street stock on iRacing.
There you go.
Tell you right now, there's some good springs.
Oh, man. I got my haircut. My headphones is loose on my head. It feels kind of weird.
I had to wear a nice Palmetto Machine Richardson hat. The nice hat.
I'm gonna wear my SRI Richardson hat.
Well, you're correct, and I have to separate. I have love in all directions. You know what I'm saying? I love SRI though. I really do. I need me a Draco Springs Richardson hat because I'll wear that one.
You think we can get Draco Springs for our mic stands here?
I need them because these little John Brown springs I got here.
The black springs don't work.
The black ones, I'm about to paint them red, purple. Maybe they'll
work better. Paint them purple.
How was your weekend?
It was. I watched a lot of racing. Watched a lot of dirt racing. Did some things around the house. You know, cut some grass as I do on the weekends, as you say.
Yeah, that's all you do.
I try to.
I mean, that's like,
you got to cut it sometime.
I told you. You get off at 2:00 in the afternoon.
No, I don't. I get off at 3.
Okay, you leave work at 3. You get off at 2.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? So you could be already prepped. You could already have your lawnmower clothes on before you leave work, and you can get on a lawnmower and cut grass during the week. So that way, you don't have to do. You can play during the weekend.
It likes to be hot and rain when I get off work.
Well, that's the best time to cut grass because you get hot, and you start sweating, and it rains, and it feels wonderful.
I don't know. It clogs up your lawnmower deck.
Well, I mean, it does do that, but.
You know, how was your weekend?
That's pretty good. I cut grass.
well, look at that.
Well, you look at that.
It?
Well, it rained all week when I was trying to cut. And it was
okay.
Well, you know. But anyway, I cut grass. I had to try to get all my dandy dues done because trying to go to the beach this coming weekend. So trying to get all that stuff done and get down there for a little getaway for David's birthday. He's going to be 30 something. 34, I think. Yeah, 34. Yeah. So trying to get that stuff done. But yeah, just hung around the house and built some flag-poles, going on a little parade this weekend. So kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And on the boat. So looking forward to that on Sunday. And hopefully the weather will permit and we'll work with us some there. Looking forward to it. But anyway, so I grilled some steaks.
Oh, where's my invite?
Well, they're still in the refrigerator. I didn't eat them.
Why?
Because they got burnt up.
What happened?
Well, I'm not going to name the place that I got these steaks from. But they were the cheapest meat. Well, it was not cheap to purchase, but it was the cheapest.
Really? It's the last big old pack you bought?
Yes.
Oh.
And I bought 6 of them.
Like the
I got them
hamburger meat
separated
too.
by 2. Exactly. So I will never, ever buy hot dogs from this said place, hamburgers or hamburger meat, or steak from this place.
And it's bad because we actually know the people that own it.
That's what I'm saying. So I hate it. Now they have the world's best chicken.
It's hard to mess up chicken.
Their chicken thighs is wonderful, but they come bagged, so they can't screw that up. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to mess up chicken.
Let me tell you the situation. I put my steaks on it. And I think, keep in mind now, they like 1.5 inch thick ribeye. They good, juicy, jam up. I had them marinated all like 12, 14 hours. Put them on there. I cook with a meat thermometer. That way you can get proper temperature you want internal. That's the way to do it. But
you're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So then, I walk. Now, this ain't no lie, bro. I walk away from the grill for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe. Yeah, I flip them, and you know how I do. So, I look around. I'm over there on the other side of the building, over there on the shop. And I look up, and I see smoke coming up from the other side of it. And that, my shop's pretty tall now.
Yeah.
And I see smoke going on. I'm like, that can't be right there. So
something ain't good.
I went around there, Bo, and I'm talking about the whole thing is smoked up. It's gone. It's gone. And they black. So Yeah, I didn't get to do it. I was gonna keep them, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Give them to the dog or something. But
there you go.
But anyway, that's pretty much it. And I watched. I know we talked about it last week. We had the stream. The outdoor stream was on, and I don't know if we ever did it or not, but we were supposed to. We're supposed to let everybody know where to find that at to stream it. But it was on Flow Racing, Flow Sports. I think Flow Sports.
And let me tell you something about Flow Sports. I so wanted to talk trash about Flow Sports. Flow Racing.
Well, it deterred me to start with.
It did, because I look at it and it says, oh, it's $150 a year?
Yeah, I was like, huh?
And I'm like, huh? And
Oh, my God.
just like, and I guess I was thinking along the lines of, we did Dirt on Dirt a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We subscribed to Dirt on Dirt stuff, and I think it's an awful business model. You charge somebody $100, and all you're doing is giving them access to the website, and then you got to pay $30 or $40 or $50 to watch the actual race.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is an awful business model. That's terrible. If
I
I'm
agree.
paying $100 a year for something, I should be able to see a ton of racing. Well, guess what? Finally come around. Somebody must have actually listened to us.
I think they did.
They must have, because we have complained about it so much. Flow Sports, Flow Racing.
Flow Sports.
Well, it's Flow Sports, but this particular channel is Flow Racing
Right.
on it. They have, I watched it on Roku. What did you watch it on?
Apple TV.
Apple
and
TV.
Amazon Stick Fire
Stick
thing.
Okay.
You can get it anywhere.
They got the apps anywhere. And it actually, it's either $150 a year or it was $30 a month.
Yeah, I
If
mean
you
it was
wanted to just buy it monthly.
definitely worth getting the year.
Oh, yes, definitely. Because, just as we've always said, you paid $150, you get everything.
You get live races, you get archived races, you can go back and watch the race from this weekend if you want to. You got so many options, but there's 24/7 racing
or sports.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But yes,
we talking about the
racing,
racing channel.
yeah.
You can watch racing 24/7. They got anything. It's just like a channel. It comes on,
And they show every
dude, it's
Tony
unbelievable.
Stewart's sprint car. What's it called?
The All-Star Circuit,
All-Star
All-Star
Circuit.
whatever circuit. They got all the
show
races on.
Every one of them.
Oh yeah.
It don't matter what little track they're at.
Who don't watch Kyle Larson whoop up on them twice this week, 3 times, whatever it
Exactly.
is. So yeah, but they got everything. They got. I'm on it right now looking at it. They got cheer and dance, baseball, basketball, bowling, cycling, dance, fitness, football.
Me and Sterling can watch some bowling.
So I like some bowling. I ain't gonna lie. Hockey, gymnastics, MMA, racing, bull riding, rodeo, rugby, singing, softball, swimming. They got everything. They got everything, and it's and you can go to all live events, and there's live events on. There's probably 30, 40 live events right now, and you can go through and watch them all. So like I say, everybody needs to check it out. And I think the Dirt on Dirt is it Dirt on Dirt or Dirt Vision?
Dirt on Dirt.
The Dirt on Dirt, I think, and I don't know this, and I hadn't looked up yet, so I don't know, but I think that all the Dirt on Dirt stuff is going to be on there.
Yeah, I think they're kind of integrated.
I think so. So I
but
want to find out more about that.
It seemed like because Dirt on Dirt kind of used to be what everything was on at Eldora, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like they took the Dirt on Dirt stuff, and we've watched it years past, all the Dream and the World 100 and all that stuff. And it was okay coverage. It was good coverage. I mean, but there were certain things that could have been better. They had 40
it was like ridiculous amount of cameras at Eldora this past weekend. It was awesome. They had cameras everywhere. Cameras everywhere.
Insane.
And the cover was great. I mean, they called the race very great. I mean, very good as well.
And I mean, it wasn't like the announcers that you're on Fox and stuff. I will say that. And myself personally, I don't like nothing against them, but these guys that were calling the race, they were way more down to earth. It seemed like they were just having a conversation with you and telling you about the race.
Right.
And it was awesome coverage. So it went from me wanting to hate flow sports, flow racing, all that stuff, to I'm gonna keep on buying it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I bought the $30, or I was about to buy the $30 deal, and I went ahead and did the whole year. And I mean, it's simple. You just pay it, PayPal or whatever, and it renews every year if you want it to. If you don't, it don't. But I'm gonna tell you what, it was really cool to be able to sit up here Thursday night and Friday night and Saturday to watch all the live stuff from Eldora. Was really cool. So I guess let's start off with Eldora. Why not? Thursday night. I tell you what, man, I was I was rooting for old Fergie, but daggum if he didn't put it on the pole to start with, man.
That boy has got some qualifying figured out. Well, he's got a fast car there, period. But he has figured out how to put down an awesome lap there.
Yes.
In the past few years, because I mean, this isn't the first time he's been stupid fast there in qualifying. No. But he put it on them in all the practice warm up stuff, and then time trials. He put it on them.
He sure did. And I'll tell you what, and I kind of hate the way they did qualifying. Personally, I wish they'd have done it in two different, like an A and a B or whatever, because the fall off of the track from the time the first two cars went out to the time the last two cars went out, it was. I mean, I don't remember how many. It was terrible. I mean, Scott was horrible.
Yeah, Bloomquist, he didn't make the show all 3 nights. He didn't make it. But I think the only thing I could figure out was, there was 47 cars there, but you think about that in the grand scheme of things and what is normally there, that's not that many cars.
Oh, no, at all.
And so that track was still coming in with every lap that they were turning on it. Track never completely dried out and slicked off at all at any point the whole weekend. And that's a good thing to some extent, but when you're qualifying and the track drops off a second during qualifying, that puts the people who qualify later
you draw
in
for
a
late.
Huge disadvantage.
Scott,
I think Chris Madden, I think this was Friday night. Scott, I think Chris Madden, Jonathan Davenport even. There were some big names that were almost a second off of the pole time.
That's so. I kind of hated that, but in Fergie's defense, he went out early, so that was good. Yeah. And he put on a show there, man. He did really well. He got in, I think in the main, he got into or who it was now, but they got together a little bit coming off of 4, and I think that upset the car a little bit. He dropped back, I think, to 8th or 10th or 7th or something like that. But he had a good showing, and that's what I want to see. I'm glad to see that he did, and the racing was great. The heat races were great. They were quick. I love the fact that it got over at like 9:30. It made it where we could stay up and watch it.
6:30 to 9:30
It was awesome. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, because a lot of times, we fall asleep we pay the $30, $40, $50 to watch these big races, and they're gonna fall asleep watching them because it's
12 o'clock at
12
night.
o'clock before they start the main. So it was really cool being able to see it, and I'm looking forward to watching more. But I think kind of go through the winners for Thursday night anyway.
The high side tickler, Kyle Strickler.
He was excited, wasn't he?
He was excited.
He was excited, man.
And it was awesome to see because that was kind of one of his first major wins.
That really was, in a super late model,
right?
He's a modified guy, so from I think Mooresville, North Carolina. He ain't too far from us, so to see him go up there,
try to get him on here one night.
Yeah, we need to try to do that for sure. But I think he kind of he got invited by, well, I don't think originally he was invited. I don't think, and then some people fell out or whatever, and he ended up getting the opportunity to go.
He was like second in the fan vote or something like that, and ended up.
Yeah, he ended up whatever. However, he got in.
He got in. However, it wasn't
very easy, but he did make it in. And for him to get up there and do that and be able to win it was really cool. And he about killed the right rear of the car trying to do it, but
yeah, he squished it.
But I will tell you, and you know, seemed like you got out front, got out in clean air or whatever. It made a world of difference because they were freaking gone.
Well, it was just so hard to pass because
top.
The bottom, it never completely slicked off, so you couldn't really move around the track and find speed. The speed was all in one spot. It was pretty much on the cushion every lap.
Yeah, and it kept getting higher and higher and higher.
Higher and higher, but it never made it all the way to the wall to where people decided to, not on Thursday or Friday night, where they decided to drop down to the bottom and come back. Yeah. Try to find more. And so it was
exciting.
It was very exciting to watch.
It was an exciting race. And you got the top 5 from Friday night, Thursday night.
I can pull it up here. Give me one
minute. Well, we can. The one Strickler got into the wall coming off of 2. He was losing the lead a good bit, and you know he had I don't remember. He had a heck of a lead, and he about give it up to trying to remember who finished second. I cannot remember right this second, but anyway, it was a very exciting race, and Friday night was the same as well. So, trying to pull it up.
We're getting some results up here. I should have had them up already. All right. All right. I got it up here. Thursday night, top 5 was Kyle Strickler, like we said. Shane Clanton ended up second.
That's right, Shane.
He had a good showing pretty much all
rolling.
week.
He was.
He was rolling pretty good. Brandon Shepard ended up third.
He was coming hard. I saw that. He started towards the back, yeah.
Yeah, and I tell you another one had a good showing too. Now it's 4th place runner, Ricky Thornton Jr.
Yes.
That boy puts on some exciting racing.
He sure does, yes, sir.
And 5th place on Thursday was Bobby Pierce. And Friday night was kind of same deal almost. Track really come around pretty much the same, and it kind of did the same thing in qualifying. They needed groups in it again. They had one group had 48 people qualifying, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't great.
No,
or it's qualifying. I mean, racing's exciting there regardless.
Well,
it's
yeah,
qualifying.
But I mean, dude, it seems like, honestly, and Brandon Shepard said this, a lot of their emphasis when they go to these racetracks, most of their emphasis is starting position. If they don't start up front, it is so hard to fight from the back, and you know you got to start up front. If Brandon Shepard would have started top 4 or 5 in that Thursday night race, he'd have won that race. The hands down.
Yeah, he was rolling.
He just had a long way to come. So, qualifying is just qualifying, but that's tough. I mean, if you draw from qualifying position, it is what it is.
Yep.
But I mean, good Lord.
On Friday night, I was trying to find the qualifying order here, but I know Fergie qualified pretty good. I know we talk about Fergie a lot on here. We like him. He's Carolina boy here, North Carolina, but he qualified 7th Friday night, so he was looking good again. But he got in the race. Something broke in the right front, he said, and he ended up having to drop out the race. So he didn't end up finishing. But good race again Friday night. Kind of back and forth there for a little while. A little more cautions in Friday nights than there was Thursday night. Thursday night, I think, had one caution.
Yeah, there wasn't many at all, yeah.
So Brandon Overton ended up winning it, old Big Sexy. And that boy has put it on him in some super late models this year. He's got more wins just in a super late model than anybody.
Yeah, he's won a lot of big races too. He went and won that race at Screven, I believe it was.
Yeah.
That was a big race. He went and won there. And
won at Lancaster.
Yep, he sure did. He runs up front about everywhere he's been. So, I look for him to do a lot this year for sure. This droop rule has sure mixed up the front runners seems like this year.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know that we can put it on the droop rule or whatever they want to call it, deck lid height rule this year. I don't know that we can put it on that, but it is coincidentally come at the same time. There's a lot of guys like Brandon Overton just got with this team this year, well, late last year, and out there running up front, winning races. Jimmy Owens, he finished second Friday night, and don't get me wrong, Jimmy Owens has always been good, but here in the last 3-4 years, he's been a top 10 car. He hadn't been first place,
He hasn't been dominated like he has.
No, and
this year
he's come up and run good. He ran good at down there at Golden Isle. I think he run pretty good at East Bay. And while we were at Volusia,
he won every daggone thing.
won everything down there. So, but yeah, Jimmy Owens is up there. Fortunately for the Bloomquist camp, the Team Zero race cars, Dale McDowell did get up there and run third on Friday night.
Yeah,
he had about the best showing out of them. Devin Moran finished fourth. Josh Richards finished fifth. That's another one I don't understand. Don't get me wrong, nothing against Clint Boyer Racing. I like Clint Boyer. I like Clint Boyer Racing. But something about their cars, when Josh Richards was driving the best performance car, they were winning every week. Well, Tyler Erb's in it now.
Yeah.
He's up front every week. Not so much at Eldora, but he's typically been up front every week. Josh Richards is struggling for top 10s and top 5s anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they're not consistent.
Not at all.
He'll have one decent race, and then he'll be struggling to be main to make it through the transfer. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I really don't. And they switched up a lot of stuff this past year when Josh went over there. So, I'm not sure. I don't really know what kind of going on over there, but maybe they'll get it figured out. I hope they will anyway.
Well, Saturday night was a big $50,000 to win finale at Eldora for the Dirt Late Model Stream. Hopefully it's the one and only Dirt Late Model Stream. And it was actually the 67th birthday of Eldora. To the day, actually. So that was pretty cool. Again, Fergie got up there. Qualified really good. Really good. Let's see if I can find it. Well, that's right. He didn't qualify for it. He got in it was based off of finishes and stuff before they set the heat races, and he started up front in heat race. Well, something happened and he fell back. But he had enough points to still get in, but I think he started 18th, I want to say it was. And our boy Fergie, Chris Ferguson, put the Fergie time on him and come from 18th to 5th.
He was rolling.
Yeah, he was.
That car looked wonderful Saturday night.
It was really good. I wish he'd had a few more laps and possibly come up there a little more.
I know it.
But that was some interesting racing Saturday night, though.
Yes, it was.
Kyle Strickler was not happy with Bobby Pierce.
No, did you see Bobby Pierce's car, dude?
He hit about everything but the pace car.
Dude. If you don't remember, I remember him doing that in the World 100, and he also did it in the truck race when he ran at Eldora.
And he also did it at the Dirt Million when we went up there. he
was all over everybody. And he don't really race too clean. And you know, I know he don't travel a lot with the series as much as he did. Running, I think he's running his own stuff now. I guess whatever.
Yeah, he's back running his dad's stuff.
I think they're just kind of running the money races or going here, there, not the other. But I tell you what, he ain't gonna get too many good friends doing that. And
no,
and he hit everybody, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he just stuffed Strickler in the wall. I mean, hard.
Well, he's using 8 tires to get around in corners and that.
Then I watched a restart. Tyler Erb was up front, And I'm pretty sure he knocked something out of line on the front end of Tyler Erb's car because he went in turn one and just, there was no way he was sliding past him.
Right.
He just used the whole left side of Tyler Erb's car. I mean,
That's
just
terrible.
Just about shot him straight up to the wall.
He ain't gonna get nowhere like that, that's for sure. But how about old Madden? What I think he was supposed to start the pole Saturday night. What happened to the car?
They ended up changing the MSDs,
Couldn't
all
get it
that
fired.
stuff. Couldn't get fire. Couldn't get the crank.
I hate that. Yeah,
And I think I swear it looked like they were trying to delay a little bit to see if he could get it going.
they were. I believe they were, and then they ended up saying, okay, he had to start in the rear if they got it go, and then they never got it going. So I
Never
hated
could
that,
get it
man.
going.
That's
I mean,
terrible.
The Bloomquist camp over there, I guess you will say, for Scott and Chris Madden, they can't catch a break this year.
They can. Ricky showed pretty good speed all first year, and
Yeah, Ricky ended up finishing sixth
And-
Saturday night.
and Ricky's kind of been showing since they got back started. Ricky's been pretty well consistent, but Jesus, I don't know what's going on with Scott and Chris Madden, but hopefully they'll get it turned around. I think Chris is. I saw they're supposed to be racing Cherokee this weekend, right?
No, Chris is not running.
But Chris is off. I'm saying
Yeah.
the tour's running.
Yeah,
and,
Lucas Oil's running
Lucas Oil.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Or they're running, Cherokee somewhere else too. I forgot
Yeah,
where
but
else.
I do know that they're running. But I did see where Chris said they were taking the weekend off. Maybe try to get their stuff built back.
Yeah, he said his son had a baseball tournament too. He was going to.
Well, I don't blame him for that.
No, I don't blame him. But it was an interesting race because Bobby Pierce I really think Bobby Pierce actually had the fastest car there. That's the bad thing. I really think he had the fastest car, but he just overdrove the thing. I mean, he still finished
always
second.
does.
And Tim McCready won it. Tim McCready's been on a roll since he's been in his Longhorn house car.
Oh yes, he has. He has looked a whole lot different.
Yeah, and he's been consistently up front. I think he's actually the points leader right now in Lucas Oil Series.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so he's rolling, and whatever. I don't feel it. Whatever I feel about him, but he can't take nothing away from him. He's a good driver, and they got their stuff set up right now. And it's so funny because as good as Jonathan Davenport was, Tim McCready's jumped in this Longhorn house car. Both of them run Longhorns. Jonathan Davenport, he finished ninth Saturday night, but that's where he's been running pretty much all year.
Yeah, I mean when he was, I don't think he finished out of the top 5 last year, Bo.
No,
And I mean he's definitely struggling a little bit, and
I just
don't know
wondered
what's
why they
going
had a green spoiler on it. And I figured out that was what the color was supposed to be when he's not the points leader. I was like, oh,
right? Yeah,
I never saw that before.
It'd be orange or something. I think point later, but yeah, I keep going back to this droop rule deal, and I mean it is what it is. I don't know, maybe not, whatever, but to see how much change, like Chris Madden, we talked about the other day. Chris Madden won every freaking thing. He went to the Bloomquist car last year at the end of the year.
Yep.
He was winning everything.
And he even ran some up front in that smaller series.
In that smaller series, that winter deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won that little tour. But, dude, what else has changed other than the droop rule? And if you ain't noticed, when we went to Volusia, them Bloomquist cars were failing the droop test or droop.
Oh, yeah, they got it on the limit.
They were failing it left and right. Yeah. So the only thing I can figure is that's got to be it. I don't know what it is. They're rotating. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. We've rattled on enough about that. But
well, I'll give you top 5 real quick from Saturday night. $50,000 to win. It was Tim McCready taking on the $50,000 in the inaugural and hopefully only dirt late model stream from Eldora Race Speedway. And Bobby Pierce finished second. Brandon Shepard, well, they got it all messed up on here. They got third and fourth listed as Brandon Shepard. I don't remember who was which one. Anyway, Chris Ferguson finished fifth.
Yep.
Ricky Weiss was sixth that night. And then Shannon Babb was seventh. It's all Bloomquist cars right there.
Absolutely. So
maybe they'll figure something out. We've told y'all before we're partial to Bloomquist stuff. We like
to
stuff.
see them do well. We do, definitely. Sure do.
That was cool racing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely was. Track was good. Like I said, the coverage was good. So definitely check out Flow Sports. Definitely the racing channel. You can watch any of the racing you want all day, every day. So definitely check it out. So going from there, all the Atlanta stuff. We had, like we said last week, we had a little double header Saturday in trucks and then the Xfinity race. Man, that was kind of a little with Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott being in it, dominating the first part of the race and killing themselves at the end of it. That was kind of interesting.
I'm gonna and I mentioned something to you about this the other day. How is NASCAR not finding Kyle Busch?
I don't know. I think that's something that's got to come up with that.
I'm not whatever. I mean, I ain't trying to be hating on Kyle Busch because I think he's probably I honestly think he's the most talented driver out there. But, dude, how can you say those things on the radio and not get fined?
Yeah, I think that's coming. And people that don't know, he was using horrible profanity towards NASCAR officials.
You F and F and F and F and F and F.
And what happened was it was late. It was towards the end of the race, and it was green flag pit stops. And Kyle went in and to get 4 tires and fuel, and he sped going up pit road. And so they black flagged him, and I think he stayed out for a little while or whatever. And
I guess he thought they were going to change it. I mean,
I don't really know. So and then
NASCAR, I don't think has ever changed that call.
Nah. So then I think Jordan Anderson had a right rear something go down or whatever. So he went to the wall. Of course, can't turn. Well, Kyle I guess he commits to the top line in 3 and 4, and all but runs all over Jordan Anderson into the wall and everything else. So anyway, he ends up coming back down pit road, and lo and behold, speeding again.
Yep.
So he had some very choice words to say to the NASCAR officials, and I don't know. I haven't heard, but I got a good idea that there's going to be more to come about that.
Well, you would think so, but nothing has happened before. We're sitting here right now watching them at Martinsville on Wednesday night, and you would think something would have happened before now, and nothing's been said of it. So I don't. Nah. And I know there's been other drivers that have said certain things before, and they put about a $50,000 fine on them in Cup, and I know that's truck stuff, so it might be a little less, but it's I don't I'm fine whatever if you don't want to fine them, but just be consistent on it.
Right. Well, I think it's funny too, and during that green flag pit stop cycle, Chase goes in to pit, take 4 tires and fuel, and he overshoots pit road.
Yeah.
And slides the tires and has to go back out, so he loses a lap, and it was just a big old mess, and ended up spinning late. Yeah. But going back to Kyle, and I've noticed this during the Charlotte race, and as well during Atlanta race, it seems like he's kind of overdriving the car. He's trying to overdrive the truck a little bit and do a little bit more than he needs to. I guess he kind of don't. He feels threatened by losing with Chase or something. I don't know what it is.
I'm also wondering, and I still think he's probably the best driver we have in the sport right now, period. And so I'm just wondering if the lower horsepower in the Cup cars, because he's not running near as many Xfinity and truck races anymore. He can't. They won't let him. So I'm wondering if the lower horsepower in the Cup cars that he is obviously more used to running, as he should be, is causing him to overdrive the Xfinity and trucks. I mean, it's a thought. I don't know. Ooh, Chase is moving Kurt Busch, and Kurt ain't moving.
He ain't liking it.
Sorry, we kind of sidetracked, but I don't know. It seems a little different for him this year. He ain't going out there and just dominating them.
No, he is definitely not. And even in the Xfinity cars, he didn't. I mean, I know he won that race in Charlotte, fought for that race, and he lost to Darson. But I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if he's. I honestly, I just think he needs to just slow down to go faster. Just like, for instance, he said there was something wrong with the truck at Charlotte. And he drives from freaking 16th to 6th in
exactly
2 laps. Something's wrong with the truck. And they go change a bunch of stuff, and it wasn't right since. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just think he's kind of. I think he's kind of a little threatened by, I don't know, the bounty or whatever. But that's all done and gone now. But anyway, so the truck race, I did watch some of that, and Austin Hill, if I remember right, was freaking gone.
Oh yeah,
he was after Chase and Kyle got all that stuff. He was freaking.
And
rolling.
he so wanted to win that race because that's kind of his home track.
Exactly, and then of all people, with like 3 to go,
the other home guy,
Chase Elliott, spins it out. I'm like, God, dog, Austin Hill, come on, man.
I guess the home guy said, if I can't win, then the other home guy ain't gonna win.
So of course, Austin Hill is sitting up. He stays out. Everybody's gonna pit. He pits. Everybody stay out. Whatever it was. So all that went on, and anyway, I think Grant Enfinger ended up winning the race.
The finger.
Yeah, so I think he's done 1-2 races this year. So he's doing pretty well.
Well, GMS ain't no slouch.
Oh no, they got good trucks. They got good equipment. No doubt at all. They definitely do. But
so yeah, then they moved on to the Xfinity race, and that was a fairly good race.
Yeah, I watched some of that race. Well, like we said before, the Xfinity trucks is better than the Cup cars. Right. And, you got to be a certain fan to like Atlanta. Atlanta, after a few laps, it spreads out, and it's a challenging race track to get around. Like they've said, I think y'all probably, if y'all watched it, y'all heard them. Y'all got to put those left sides on that white and red line. It's about 12, 14 inches wide, whatever it is. And that line, it kind of deviates around the corner. And you got to keep those left sides on that line to get that bite. And, so it spreads out. It's a wide racetrack. The surface is 20-something years old. But to me, I like that racing because it shows the talent of the driver. Because, I mean, dude, once you slipping and sliding everywhere, that's all in your hands.
I like it, but I don't like it in 500 miles.
No, I don't like it in 500 miles. And I think that's got a lot to do why the truck race and the Xfinity race is better.
I do too, because just as we said at Charlotte, the 300-mile race was so much better than the 600-mile race.
Exactly.
And,
I agree.
But the bad thing is, I'm trying to remember who all it was. I think Justin Allgaier was up front. Ross Chastain.
All them boys.
Was Chase Briscoe up front again?
I believe he was, yeah.
Well, then guess what happened? 5 of them, I think it was, 4 or 5 of them on the money stop got busted for speeding.
That kills them, man.
Oh, it killed them. I mean, they could not recover from it. And all of the junior motorsports cars were running really good the whole race. And then that happened, and Michael Annett fell back a little bit. I tell you what, our boy from down here, he's actually from Virginia, but he's the Coastal Carolina alumni, Brandon Brown. For a very, very, very small team, they've put up good numbers this year.
Oh, they've ran very well this
year. They've had...
they're consistent.
Very consistent. I think they've had 4 top 10s. And the other ones, I think one is something happened, had a mechanical issue or wreck, or I don't remember. But then this week he ran 12th, which is awesome for a small team like that. Single car, definitely. Small team.
Yeah.
But AJ Allmendinger.
The Dinger.
He finally got an oval win.
Finally got him an oval win, man.
He's won some road course stuff before. He ain't never won no oval stuff. He finally wins the oval race.
Well,
After he retires.
Well, that's the
I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna come back and win a race.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Well,
I mean, he's been good at Martinsville. He's been good at Bristol. He's been good at short tracks because there's a lot of braking zones,
right.
which he's he goes and wins the most drivers track that there is, I think, now.
I've always thought he's a good driver.
Oh, he's a good wheelman, man. He is. Definitely.
In my opinion, he just never had the equipment up under him on the Cup side.
No, he never had a good opportunity. He never had a good break to run good stuff. And he is now, which is really cool because, kind of people that doubted him or if he doubted himself even.
Oh, yeah.
To see him come back and run limited schedule and stay in tune with his star player, as they say, and because I'm telling you what, man, to go out there and it was 90-something degrees, freaking
hot Atlanta,
100% humidity. I don't know. That was a tough race for them. I know it was a short race.
Anything like the humidity today is ridiculous.
Phew, it was hot.
Because a little off topic, but I got me a different truck, and me and Sterling was trying to put me a leveling kit on this thing here just a little while ago.
It's hot,
and I'm pretty sure my shirt had about 3 or 4 pounds of sweat in it. It was awful.
It's hot. I ain't gonna lie, it's hot.
So if it was anything like that, I don't know how them boys can stay in the seat of the race.
I know it. Well, I think I heard this is going to Sunday, but I heard Ricky Stenhouse. He's got his little Fitbit or whatever on his watch, and I heard he lost 30-something hundred. He burned 30-something hundred calories.
Jesus,
in that race, that's insane, Bo. To be sitting in a seat and burn 30-something hundred calories.
You better be intaking some water.
I'm telling you, dude, and that's why. What's his face
Bubba.
fainted?
Yeah, that's why Bubba fell out. Freddie Kraft, his spotter, was talking about it. He said Bubba hates water. He wants either Sprite or Coke all the time. And I mean, I'm glad they sponsor him and all, but you can't do that in that kind of heat.
You can't stay hydrated in that. No, you got to drink Gatorade or water or whatever.
Yeah, you got to get some electrolytes and some H2O in you.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't be doing all the caffeine and diuretics. You will sweat every bit of it out.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and then Noah Gragson finished second.
He won $100,000, I believe.
$100,000.
That's awesome.
And I'm wondering if AJ's gonna come back and run the next race for the $100,000 because he was not scheduled to run it.
I sure would.
I know I would.
I mean, even if I was a team, I'd put him in the car.
Colleague probably will.
Yeah, they'll probably put him there.
Why not? And what's so funny about that race? With speaking of AJ, though, he started 30th.
Oh, I know it. He was up front in no time. He moved right on up, dude.
Dude, that was insane. Justin Haley finished third. Daniel Hemrick fourth. Harrison Burton fifth. So, yeah, it was a good race, though. It was fairly good.
That was a pretty good race. I mean, from what I got to see of it, it was pretty good.
I don't know. Me and Sterling talked about this before. When I sit there and watch dirt racing all weekend, watch super late models and then turn it and watch some all-star series that Kyle got some damage. Some sprint cars and stuff like that, and watch the sliders back and forth. And then I turn it to a NASCAR race, especially on a 1.5 mile track. It's so hard to keep my attention on it.
Oh, I agree.
I
agree. Honestly, if I didn't have a NASCAR app and was able to follow the scanners and stuff like that throughout the race, I'd be fell asleep throughout the middle of the race. I mean, it's bad to say, but that's the truth. It just is what it is. But
it is.
But moving to Sunday, I think everybody got Harvicked.
Well, they definitely got Harvick, and I called that one.
Oh, yes. I did, too. I won that 10 bonus points.
I didn't pick him to win, though?
I did.
I called it. I said, I think Harvick can win, but I didn't pick him to win.
No, I picked him.
Just because he actually hasn't won there in
a while.
Years.
Yeah, but he's back.
But he's been up front. I mean,
oh, yeah,
but
he's done well. But man, I'm telling you what, that was that was kind of a boring race. You know, like we said, 500 miles of Atlanta was it stretched out. It wasn't a whole lot to it. There's not really much to say about it, honestly. I mean, top 5: Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin.
Don't that sound like a typical top 5?
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say, at least, if anything, Toyotas did perform better.
Yeah, they did.
Than they have had in recent times, anyway. But wasn't a whole lot to it. Honestly, it was not that great of a race, in my opinion. I figured Kevin Harvick would win it, and he did. And that's pretty much it.
I mean, it really is. It just I had it on, and I was kind of chilling out Sunday. I wasn't doing a whole heck of a lot, and I actually was running on iRacing a little bit, and I had TV on over there, kind of watching it back and forth, and it was monotonous. I think, and I know this is a old argument getting into, but I think the 500-mile races have about run their course, except for the key 500-mile races, the Daytona 500, the Southern 500, and then obviously the 600-mile race at Charlotte. Other than that, I'm fine with you cutting down everything to 300 miles. I really am. I mean, it's just, we've seen it just like at Charlotte the other night when, like we talked about, you had a 600-mile race, you had a 300-mile race. The 300-mile race was so much more eventful.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's just time to change it. I think it's time to do some changes.
I really think they're using this, all these midweek races and these shorter races and these whatever. I think they're using that kind of as a test to kind of see how it plays out, see how the fans like it, for one, and see how it makes the race, see how it plays out, and it's playing out for the better. I think I really do. So I kind of look to see that transpire, and I really do. I think you're going to see that. Midweek racing, which we've talked about, I think you're going to see that more. And shorter races. That's what you're going to see.
Yeah, I believe so. This is about to be changing. There's a lot of changes going on in NASCAR right now, and some for the good, some for the worse. And I think that might be some of the changes we're about to see. So anyway, tell you what, boy. You know what I like?
What is that?
I like SRI Performance. I like Stock Car Steel.
I like them Purple Springs, man.
I like some Purple Springs.
Purple
Draco Springs.
Absolutely right.
And we just want to tell them anyway that we appreciate them coming on with us.
Yes,
staying
sir.
With us, sticking with us through our wondering of conversations.
we tend to wonder sometimes, but I mean, hey, why not?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. They at Martinsville tonight on the NASCAR stuff. You know what you need at Martinsville?
You need a napkin because you're going to eat a bunch of hot dogs.
Well, they probably ain't selling no hot dogs this weekend.
Man, this is some bull. How you going to go to Martinsville and not eat hot dogs?
I know.
They can put up their sneeze shields.
That's exactly what you need.
Put up their sneeze shields and sell hot dogs.
There you go. Also, you need brakes.
You need a lot of brakes.
And you know what kind of brakes you need? PFC brakes.
Absolutely.
You know who's one of the biggest suppliers of PFC brakes?
SRI.
SRI Performance.
Absolutely. They're the best. They got everything in the best.
They got the best of everything. New and used parts, all your lubes, oils, everything you need. SRI Performance is metals, plastics, performance parts, industrial supplies, everything everything you possibly could want for a
Yes.
race car. Nuts, bolts, side panels, roll bars. If you need roll bar tubing, they got it at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum.
Got everything.
I mean, and something else I like that they got. We got a couple of them. They got these new hats. We like to talk about hats. We like hats.
Richardson hats, man.
They are made by Richardson. SRI hats. And if you haven't, you got another day, I think it is, to look on SRI's Facebook page or Chris Ferguson's Facebook page. And they're having a giveaway. Chris Ferguson signed a winning hat from Cherokee.
From Cherokee. That's a good one to have, especially after his week he had up in Eldora. So y'all need to get up on that.
You got to get on there, like it, share it. I think you got to tag a couple people in it. Win your hat. Get you a chance to win a hat. Go on Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. If you need anything, because I know you boys been out there bending up some metal these past couple of weeks. They opening back up some tracks. I know y'all bending up some metal. Get on there or use some metal.
Oh, yeah. I seen Greg Biffle down there the other day.
Greg Biffle was up in there the other day. Getting him something. There ain't no telling what he's building. He's always building something crazy. There ain't no telling.
Yeah, telling what he's doing.
He probably out with his sand dune jumper thing. And that's what's cool. Guess what? SRI also has off-road parts for anything you need. Off-road racing.
Anything.
Diesel stuff. Diesel performance.
They got it all.
Got it all. I know we harp on it and say it every week, but it's no lie. They got everything performance related. Circle track, diesel, drag racing, street performance, off-road, everything you need right there, one place. They're the one-stop shop for all things racing. You know what I think's cool at dirt tracks? You don't see as much of it anymore, but especially Saturday night stuff, is those little color sticks that the crew chief or whoever got out there telling them how far they got. It's like an art with them things. Well, SRI Performance got them right now. LED, multicolor, red, green, blue. Spotter stick for dirt track racing. It is right here, sold each for $36.99.
That ain't bad, dude.
No, I think I'm going to get me one just to
get them
wave
for the
around.
kids, and they can run around, play with them, hit each other with them, whatever. I mean, do anything with them.
They flash or steady LEDs. I mean, I'm just sitting on here on the website, just going through.
You can spend forever on that website. It's easy to use. I mean, you can go on there. You can look for anything you want.
Just type in what you want. There's a search thing up top. Type in what you want.
Type in what you want. And I'm going to tell you what. All these businesses open back up. I went the other day. Had to go get my hair cut. They open back up. But guess what? You got to wear a face shield, face mask, whatever. Yep. So guess what? You can go on SRI and buy you one. Anything you want. Go and get it.
That's SRI-supplies for that one.com. SRI Performance, their website is www.sriperformance.com. Also go on Stock Car Steel's website.
Yeah, definitely check them out. Get you some steel.
.com.
Building race cars, get it. Even if you ain't building race cars, if you're building sneeze guards, if you're building deer stands, if you're building, I don't care. They got steel. Go get you some. And don't forget about them Purple Springs, Bo.
No, we can't forget about Purple Springs.
They some awesome
Draco Springs. I'm going to tell you what. We even shared it on ours. I mean, it just tells you. There was a post this past week. Boy had a podium finish with a four-wheeler. He had Draco Springs on the four-wheeler. On the quad.
You wonder why he's got a podium finish? Because in Springs, man. Springs had a lot to do with it.
Fast, bro.
I guarantee.
You can't get hooked up without good springs.
You gotta have good springs.
They got them. I'm gonna try to get me some on my truck.
Absolutely right.
It'd be awesome.
That would look really good.
Anyway, like we just said, everybody, for all your racing needs, all your racing supplies, anything that you absolutely need, even for your business, go to www.sriperformance.com. www.sriperformance.com, www.sri-supplies.com, and get anything you need.
Absolutely. Go check them out, guys. You'll love it. They got everything. It's great.
It's wonderful. Well, speaking of some SRI apparel, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. Got a little bit more apparel to talk about. Let's go to the phone line here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone line now we have the founder of the newest apparel company out there, as far as racing apparel, Forward Bite. Mark Vanderheiden. How's it going, Mark?
Hey, not too bad. Glad to be on. Thanks for having me.
Awesome deal, man. We appreciate you coming on here and everything. Mark, give us a little rundown of your company there. I've been on your website and all your stuff there, and you got some good looking stuff there. Give us a little background on how all your apparel stuff got started.
Well, I'm from Nebraska. I race a 305 sprint car up here, and my son also races go karts. I've been racing my whole life. My dad did it, uncles did it, nephews, cousin does it. So racing's always been in the blood, and I'm an entrepreneur on the other half of my life. So I'm always trying to look at different ways on how I can get some extra income. So one of my ideas was to come up with either a brand or basically that's what we came up with, I guess, is to come up with a brand and see if we can sell some shirts, sell some swag, get some stuff out there. The main focus, has always been from the beginning was to never focus on one class of racing. So people email, text, message us on Facebook daily, and it's just a matter of there's so many classes of racing out there but about every single one of them have Forward Bite. So I wanted to come up with a brand, and one of my sponsors on my sprint car it's called 316 Strategy Group, and they basically build businesses up from the ground up. And I approached them with the idea back in November or December, and then they just took it from there. I mean, the guys that I'm working with have never been to a race before. They don't know the racing background, and they've just been amazed every time I talk to them about the following that racers actually have. And they just understood that they saw something there, and they saw my passion for it, and then they saw the potential. So they just took it and ran. So it all started in, like I said, November, December timeframe, and it started with an idea, and then it started with what's the name going to be, and my partners, they said, well, send us a list of racing terms or racing names that you're thinking of. And I probably sent them 20 or 30 different terms that we use in racing daily, and they came right back right away within minutes of what's Forward Bite. That's the one that came. That's the one that really sparked an interest to them. So told them what it was, and they did their research, and they said that's the one. They came up with the logo, the next day, and it's just been a roller coaster from there. It just keeps getting faster and faster.
Man, that's absolutely awesome. Mark, I know you got something called the Forward Bite challenges for these race car drivers. Give us a little insight to that.
So we came up with the idea of having those Forward Bite challenges, and like the month of June, we just have our first one out. So basically, if you get a win, victory lane picture, if you have any Forward Bite gear, whether it be sticker, hat, shirt, in the picture, you get your name in the hat for $100 bill for the month of June. And if you have multiple wins, you get multiple entries into the contest. So that's just the beginning of the challenges. We're going to try to do more weekly and then monthly, then bigger. The future holds, to where we might have yearly challenges, quarterly challenges, monthlies, and stuff like that. So it's just something like that for us to get back, because we just don't want to be a company that you just buy that shirt from and then you're done with them. We want them to keep the interest in those customers that we get, and hopefully they come back and they keep, and they're interested enough, and you're doing enough, giving enough back that they, keep supporting you in the future.
That's awesome, man. I know you mentioned earlier that you race 305 sprint cars yourself. Give us a little background on your racing. How'd you come up in racing?
Well, my dad raced IMCA modified up here in Iowa back in the mid 90s. I graduated in 97. So it's about all through my high school career. I was basically the main crew guy for him on the IMCA modified side. So I got my feet wet with that stuff there, crewing for him. And then we also had, I think they got them down south there as these mini late models. They kind of started them up here. My uncle tried to start them up here, like about a 3/4 scale late model with the, the 600, I think they maybe even the 1000 cc motorcycle engines in them. Yeah. That was my first ever race car that I actually raced in. That was the year 2000. So I was probably 20 years old. So we tried to hit those off in Iowa at a few different tracks. It didn't take off like we wanted. So that kind of went away. So then I didn't race again ever until 2013. I went out to my home track here at Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska, and saw some sprint cars going on. And they started the new class out here. I mean, that was the IMCA Race Saver sprint cars was pretty new back then. And it was a cheaper way to get in the sprint cars. And my dad actually found me an older car down in a cornfield in Missouri, and we bought it up and cleaned it all up, fixed it all up, and went racing in about the last half of 2013. Then we raced again in 2014. And then after that, me and my wife kind of decided we were going to open up her own physical therapy clinic. My wife's a physical therapist, so decided to sell it all. I sold all the racing gear that I had, everything that had anything to do with racing in my garage. I sold it and knew that I was going to come back someday. So we sold it all, and then finally the business has been going for 4 years. We've had it for 4.5 years now. So bought a car back, started building it up, and I started again last year. So I got not a full season, but about 21 races in last year. So this is my about, fourth year racing a sprint car, I guess. So
that's awesome. Well, luckily for y'all have a lot of racing all through the week. That's something we wish we had, kind of up north in the Midwest. Y'all race a lot, which I envy y'all for that, because I'd love to be able to go Tuesday, Wednesday night and go to the racetrack. So, but how about your son? You said he raced go-karts. We grew up racing go-karts on dirt, clay, of course. What exactly did he run?
So he just started this year. It's his first year. Actually, last Friday night was his first night. He finally got to race. So it's a cage kart up here. They're called. I guess.
Kart,
they probably got them all over the place. But cage kart Junior 2 division. He's 12, almost 13 years old. So
awesome.
He's been around me doing it all and excited about it. And I decided to finally let him get his feet wet with the go-karts. And I told him if he's good at it and he likes it and he keeps getting better and he stays with it, we'll just keep moving him up the ranks. And that was kind of where, when we first decided what we were going to do with the business, whether it was going to be a YouTube, vlogging style, a lot of those drivers are doing now, getting a lot of followers that way, or go more with a brand. And my guys kind of decided to push me towards the brand side. They thought it was more of a future for us to do that. So, I mean, and that was another part of my story, to where I did this, for him to have something to do when he gets in high school, and if he takes this on to the next level, and this is something that if we keep getting bigger and bigger, then it's his business. But right now he helps me package all the orders, and he builds the boxes, and he packages every single individual T-shirt after he folds them. So he's 12 years old, and I got him started young, and see if he can take it to the next level, I guess.
That's awesome, man. That's where we all started. That's the best way to start, I think, in my opinion. But that's great, man. You got a lot of room to grow. The company, from what I can see, even already, you got a lot of room to grow into different things, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see. I mean, like I said, we have a million ideas to what to do to keep the interest in the racing world, whether it's sponsor tracks, sponsor series, sponsor cars. Just trying to make the right decisions at the right time is the part. So the COVID didn't help us much getting started. We launched our website April 15th, right in the middle of it. And we're getting a little busier now, but just a matter of the guys I'm working with. They're trying to just keep me grounded, keep me understanding that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So it could take a few years, but after that, once the word gets out there, that's the goal. So, because that was a part of the other thing, we started that Forward Bite Nation. So where I mean, I think we're in at least 45 of the states now, you know, with our brand that we know of, that I've mailed stuff to. So it's just a matter of spreading it across the country and seeing how popular we can get as fast as we can. So.
Awesome, man.
That's awesome. What's the hot selling item right now?
Well, the hottest one has been our shirts. We started with just the FB shirt in the beginning, and then our second order shirts was the actual Word Forward Bite. But our one that we have out just hasn't came out now. It's probably going to hit the websites Friday. I just ordered it last one. We finally added a tagline to the bottom of our logo, so our newest shirts are going to say the actual Forward Bite, and then our tagline, which is "Every Racer Wants It," because got some tips from some drivers that said we need a tagline. I said you're right. So we just wanted to make sure that it was at the right time. So we're hoping that really hits big and goes strong. So because it has a ring to it, you know, every racer wants it. If you see any of our videos on our Facebook, we got all of our videos on there. We got a couple commercials. So every racer wants it. I mean, it's pretty true. So I mean, everybody that's ever talked about it, you know, you got to have it. So.
Exactly right.
Yes, that's a big. Right. You gotta have it. How about sponsorship? If somebody wants to team up with you guys, what do you need to do to kind of go about doing that?
Well, like I've said, you know, when you start something like this, and we ask for people, I mean, if you want us to take you into consideration, you know, email us or text us or message us. And so I mean, they're coming in daily. You know, everybody wants to be part of it, which is awesome, but we're also trying to pick and choose who we're working with. So as of right now, if you want to be part of it, if you want to be part of Forward Bite Nation, I mean, they can email us and tell us their interest, and then we take that basically to our team of guys at the strategy group, and we kind of look at everybody that's asking and seeing who would be the best to help us push our brand at that point. I mean, right now we have a handful of drivers that our entry level sponsorship basically starts with, I'm going to send you a care package of stuff, and then you're going to get your own 10% off code off the website, and then we cut you a deal with all the sales that you get with the people that are using your code, you know. So
right.
And that's kind of the entry level, and then, you know, that'll build us up into, you know, whoever might get us the most sales. Obviously, we're going to want to work with them the most the next year. Maybe we'll actually work that into a bigger level thing. You know, we got a couple different levels that we're working on, but right now it's just, you know, being a new company, not having a real idea what the future holds. It's like you don't really want to shell out a whole bunch of money to some drivers when we're trying to get it spread out all over the country. You know,
that's right.
You might have a really popular driver at one track that's going to get you, maybe it'll get you a few orders from that track, but we got to look at it all over the country. So we're not focused on little, we're focused on big as fast as we can, and just seeing what the right choices are. I mean, we got a couple drivers. We got a go-kart girl from New York, and we got a sprint car, a lady from New York also that does sprint cars. We got a modified driver from Arizona, and we got quite a few drivers here from Nebraska, just because I know them and they're some of my friends. So, and we got a driver from Missouri. So it's just, those are the ones with the codes at this time. And I could get everybody a code, but then it's harder for me to track, you know. So we're trying to make sure that we're giving the codes to the right people that are going to produce. So,
right.
And then, you know, we worked a deal. I mean, you guys know Hunt the Front. I mean, we worked a deal with them. We sponsored their virtual racing series that they had, and I've developed a pretty good relationship with those guys. So that was a good thing to get me going here last couple months, and they've worked with us pretty good and got us a lot of followers and got us a lot of contacts. So it was good to work with them guys too.
Yeah, absolutely, the virtual deal definitely helps a lot of people. And you know, in our perspective, it kind of gave us a chance to get to all the regular people and the fans that, you know, necessarily can't afford to go race a sprint car or whatever. So
to those guys that want T-shirts.
Exactly. There's a lot of fans that love racing that can't afford to do it. But man, that is sweet, and I love to get some Forward Bite Nation down here in South Carolina for sure.
We're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I know we got a few drivers down there. I don't have my list in front of me here, but like I said, I know there's at least, I mean, when we first opened, I was saying, you know, the visor decals are a big thing right now with some of these drivers. And when we first started, I sent a visor decal to anybody that wanted one. That was what I did. So right. They were coming from everywhere. Then we were tracking that, so we got their address. We got we're tracking on our map. So that's how Forward Bite Nation started. Was the Forward Bite visor stickers. So they're everywhere right now. There's over 300 visor stickers out in the country. We're only a couple months old, so it's just a matter of getting people to see them and then getting people to ask how you get one, and then getting on the website and seeing if we can't get them to order. So
that's absolutely awesome. Well, you just said it. How can people get all their Forward Bite apparel?
Well, right now, you can go to the www.forwardbiteco, so forwardbiteco.com is our website, and then jump on Facebook and Instagram as well. I do have a Twitter account. I haven't did a lot with it yet because I'm new to Twitter. So right now, Instagram and Facebook is our focus, but just as many shares and likes that we can get. And we've moved up. We're up to almost 11,000 followers on Facebook, which is a pretty big deal for us. And we hit 10,000 last month, so we're almost 11,000 now. So just imagining the future, we do realize that we need to gain more followers each week to get that interest keeping going. So it's just a matter of providing new content, providing new stuff that people are going to want, and keeping the interest up is the goal right now.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, man, anybody that's listening, I'm looking at the website right now. Y'all got some very nice looking stuff. I will say I part owner in a machine shop here locally, and I just bought some Richardson hats. And I see that's what you got here. A lot of those Richardson hats, they are awesome hats. I got one on right now. I love them. It's a good fitting hat. So everybody definitely go check them out. They got some very nice looking stuff, koozies, decals, you name it. So go check them out, man. It's very nice stuff.
What's the I know you said there was something coming out. What's the next big thing coming out?
Like I said, it's our new shirt with our tagline on it. So I ordered a whole bunch of new shirts and sweatshirts with just our Forward Bite with Every Racer Wants It on it. I think that's going to be our best looking one at this point, and hope that it really kicks off. And we have the mask coming. We just got the koozies. Ours aren't really considered masks. They're the bandana type. They're bandana type deals that you can put around your face, or you can tie it around your neck, or tie it around your ponytails for the girls, or around the wrist, whatever it may be. But we've had a lot of people wanting those and asking for them, so we finally got them ordered. Those are hard to come by right now, so we finally got those ordered, and hopefully those sell out pretty fast too.
That's awesome, man. Well, I tell you what, you got some good looking stuff there. And again, everybody, that is forwardbiteco.com. So y'all go there and get all your Forward Bite apparel, and keep on the lookout for all the new stuff coming out. And Mark, I tell you what, we sure appreciate you coming on, buddy. And
I really appreciate you having me on.
You're more than welcome to come on anytime. Tell us about anything new you got going on and any new challenges coming up. More than welcome to come on here and let everybody know.
Yep. I'll let you know if we got anything big coming up right now. And like I said, also we actually sponsored the go-kart division that my son's at Eagle Raceway. So we're trying little things to see if we can get out there. We're going to try to get see if we can get all over the country, do a little bit with every little track that wants to help on. I know we can't do them all, but I mean there's like 700 just dirt tracks. So we gotta pick and choose where we can go to hit the most things, and whether it's trade shows or whatever it may be, just to get out there. So that's the future.
Awesome, man. Go-kart track, is that dirt track out there too?
Oh yeah, we're all dirt out here.
I mean,
there is pavement. There's some pavement tracks in Iowa, I think, but right now we're just all dirt. And grew up dirt, and I'm focusing on dirt, and that's why my kid has dirt too. So
that's what I'm talking about. It's funny because I've noticed, and me and Sterling both raced up and down the East Coast, especially, and it's so weird because there's tons of dirt. Just going go-kart tracks right now, just because that's what we did forever. There's tons of dirt tracks here in South Carolina. There's few in Georgia, few in North Carolina. Outside of that, on the East Coast, it kind of goes to pavement for some reason. And then all of a sudden, you'll go over there to your side, and it's back dirt over there. It's so weird, the demographics of racetracks, I guess you would say.
Yeah, you said up here is some of these local drivers, they can race 4 or 5 nights a week, and a lot of them guys do it for the whole summer full-time job. And there's a lot of heavy hitters here. Like our track finally opened up at Eagle last Saturday night, and mean, there was 33 sprint cars for the 20-car field. You know, we don't mess around up here. And I think there was 40 some sport mods, you know, and every class had a B and some had C's. And Nebraska's finally opening up, and Iowa's been racing for a while. Missouri's been wide open, and South Dakota and Kansas. So we still got restrictions here in Nebraska, but at least we got to go. So
absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, Mark, we sure do appreciate it. And like we said, check them out, forwardbyteco.com. Also, check them out on Facebook. I think you said Instagram too.
Yep, we're on there too.
You got on Checkered yet?
We are on Checkered. That's why I told you guys. I saw you guys from them. So we're one of the vendors on Checkered. So we're trying to post on there every day, get some followers, and see what we can do.
Good deal, man. Well, we sure do appreciate you coming on, buddy, and we'll be talking with you soon.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
We sure do appreciate Mark coming on tonight.
Absolutely, man. Y'all go check out his stuff. Definitely. I'll tell you what, man. Forward Bite is growing, and I know there are a lot up north or the Midwest, whatever, but they're gonna move down here a lot. You're gonna see them a lot. You're gonna see them on some race cars. You're gonna see them on. You're gonna see their apparel around. So check them out. Definitely do it. Like he said, you never know. You get your apparel and bit your lane. Guess what you're gonna get? Some more money.
You might get some more money.
What's wrong with that?
That's what's so cool is we've been talking to some, the businesses we've been trying to talk to with, say, Forward Bite, with Checkered, the cool new social media app. Everybody's trying their hardest to give back to the racing community now, and it's very much needed. And I think people are finally seeing the need for it, and they know if you don't give back to it, it's not going to stick around forever. So,
well, I like and I know Forward Bite is, and even like Checkered, we talked with him a couple weeks ago or whatever, but. With Forward Bite, for instance, it's not directed just at one series or one type of racing. It's all kind of the lower tier racing, which is what I love. I mean, NASCAR or whatever, they've got a brand. They're kind of doing their own thing. So for us and for people like Forward Bite to get their name out around the local community and around the local racetracks and help the local community build at that racetrack, man, I tell you what, it's great, dude. Keep it going. That's what I love. I love seeing that.
Keep it rolling. It's cool. It's very cool.
It really is. We're talking about local racetracks, man. How about Lakeview? They had a little race this past weekend. We talked about it some. They had a crowd out there, dude. I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, we ended up not being able to make it out there, unfortunately.
They had a pile of race cars.
They had a pile of race cars. They had a pile of people there.
There was a pile of people. It was a wonderful, organized protest, obviously.
That's what I'm talking about. Old Willie Milliken.
To no surprise.
Well, it's not really a surprise, but, there for a little while, into last year, he wasn't running at the very front,
right
out there. He was getting beat a little bit out there, and so they changed it up a little bit apparently, and he got him back rolling again. He ran awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could have got over there for one, but
yeah, me
two.
too.
I like. Well. JD Pridgeon, it was a great moral race for him. There was a good turnout. The prize purse, I think, was $2,200. His car number 22. The race was 22 laps. Like we said last week, we said to run at least twin 22s or something. But I'd love to see a longer race there. I hate that really wasn't a longer race, but that's my only negative. Really, I'd kind of prefer to see a 50 lap race or something,
Yeah, I understand why they did it, but we just want to see more racing. So,
well, yeah, I mean, kind of good to see. But top five from the limited late model race, the main, I guess, whatever. But the actual memorial race, Willie Milliken, Sean Harrell, Christian Thomas finished third, Dustin Parrott, maybe if I'm saying that right,
That's
and
right.
Bryson Harper finished out your top 5. So they had 22 cars. Had a good little field there. It come from all over the place. So glad to see they had a good turnout for that. And I'm pretty sure it's going to do nothing but grow from years to come.
Oh yeah, hopefully so. That'll be an awesome race to have every year, and be really good. Our buddy Mike Butler ran the Crate Racing USA Street Stock.
Yes, sir. Car looked good.
Car looked real good. Qualified second. Took the lead there for quite a while. I watched a little bit of it on the Facebooks, and took the lead and ended up falling back to second. But he finished second. That's 2 races at Lakeview, 2 second place finishes.
That's awesome, man. And I hear he had a little trouble with the brakes. I hate that.
He said he thought he smelled brakes and got it home, and right rear brake was locked up.
Yeah, that probably didn't help his his chances of getting the win. But tell you what, they're gonna finish getting the bugs worked out of that car, and that car is gonna be hard to beat.
It's strong already, and he says he's having handling issues and stuff like that. Well, if you having handling issues and still running second that strong,
Got a good
you get it figured out, that's gonna be a bad mamma jamma.
Yes, sir, it is. Sure is. You got top 5 for that race?
I got the top 5 right here. It was Tom Lovett, Mike Butler. Third place was Donald Williams, Josh Herring in 4th. Anthony Spivey rounds out your top 5.
That's sweet. Well, there was a few more classes over there, and I'm telling you, they had good fields and everything. The 602 mods, they had 11 cars show up for that race, which was that's a good Saturday night show by all means.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see any highlights of that race. Did you?
I didn't see any, unfortunately. I think I saw some practice from it and everything. But I will say, regardless, 602 mods, they always put on a good show over there. There's always that track just makes for good racing. It's pretty tight corners. You got to get your car handling around there, but you can slide it in there. You can jam it in there if you want to, and make stuff happen. Now,
right.
You might not come off the other end of the corner, or
Might go over the corner.
you might go over the corner, or you might come to possibly victory lane and stop there, and then the second place man come over there and meet you there and want to talk about it a little bit.
That's quite possible. Sure is.
So, but anyway, let's see what I got here. 602 mod, your top 5 was AJ Ballinger, Cameron Norris, Brandon Carter. Johnny Pridgeon was 4th. Case Daniels 5th.
Yeah, it's a good showing for them guys. Definitely is. And I'm looking forward to getting over there and watching that race. I know the old 602 mod, like you say, they put on a great show. And they have MAV TV over there a couple times. 602 mods. So I hope they get that back and get a good show over there. So moving on to Super Street. There's 11 of them showed up for that. I'm sure that was a good race. I'm sure it always is, from what I can see over there.
Yeah, they put on depends who shows up. It always seems like they it's either you either check out or it's hard racing.
Right.
Most time hard racing. Like I said, that track puts on hard racing. Ron Pope won Super Street. Benji Thompson finished 2nd. Scott Peterson was 3rd. Cameron Norris 4th. Johnny Pridgeon 5th.
Johnny Pridgeon shows out a good bit over there.
Yeah, Johnny Pridgeon he just want to race.
He just want to race, boss. He just want to race.
And they had a big old full field, as they always do, of the Sport Compact front wheel drives. And they got a pile of them things over there.
Dude, it's so easy, man. You go over there and you have a freaking blast. You got what? You ain't got much money in a race car.
No, I mean, your biggest expense in them things is your safety equipment and your roll cage.
Yep. That's it, man.
You can go pull one of them little cars out the junkyard somewhere and make you a cool little race car. And they're also, I saw they're coming up with a new class They didn't run that this weekend, but they're coming out with a like a pure street class. They said it's going to be V8 cars, older, more like street stocks, but it is going to be pretty much as it come off the road, other than a roll cage.
Sweet.
So, but anyway, them Sport Compacts top 5 was Jerry Johnson Jr., Ronnie Parrott, Derek Kemper, Glenn Register, Julio, and I cannot say his last name. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
My bad.
That's all right. I think I saw them guys over there. We went over there for that test that day.
Yeah.
That's some good looking stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, I'm glad to see a good turnout over there. Keep on supporting your local tracks. By all means, you got to do it. We got to have that support. We got to have whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm just protest, whatever you want to say, however they want to call it. I think old Aces Speedway is in a little heat from that. But
yeah, if y'all follow our Facebook and our social medias much, you've seen on there that we're trying to support Ace Speedway. I've never been Ace Speedway.
No, I have not.
It looks like a cool track.
Absolutely.
But I stand behind them in what they're doing. For the simple fact, no, I do not want anybody to get sick or whatever. And I will wholeheartedly state that. No, obviously, I would never want anybody to get sick. In my opinion, and this is my opinion alone, if you're worried about getting sick, or if you feel like you could get sick, or if you were in care of someone that you feel like you could get sick, don't go to the track. Plain and simple. Don't do it. For us that want to go and are not held back by those things, it should be open. I don't understand, and I know this gets into a little bit of political stuff, and I'm sorry if I'm not on your side with it. I mean, zero offense to you, but it's just my way of thinking. I do not agree with allowing a quote-unquote protest. If it's peaceful protest, whatever, I don't care. I do not agree with allowing that, with 1,000 people standing out in the middle of the street and doing whatever they're doing, and yet a few hundred people can't go to a racetrack.
No, well, it's a touchy subject.
It's very touchy.
To me, it's not touchy at all. But I don't want to offend nobody. But at the same time, I really don't give a crap. I don't. This is my opinion, and my opinion is you can't be biased. You can't be okay. It's okay for these people to do it, but it's not okay for this. 2 weeks ago, you couldn't take a dump without having a mask on, and then you look out here in these streets, and there's 5,000 people rioting or protesting, as they say, and it's okay. And then you go to a racetrack where everybody's going to have a good time. Everybody's going to enjoy themselves. Ain't heard nothing about this virus stuff.
No.
Because all it is now is, there's something else for them to talk about. Something else for the media to harp on.
That's right.
So let's just get rid of it. So the virus is over. It's okay. Supposedly. So then, okay, let's go to the racetrack. Let's have a good time.
Right.
And then that was a problem.
Well, what's so funny about it is, and this is what I don't get, and I guess it's because they pushed it sooner than Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina, wanted to allow it, because he's on some ego trip or something, it comes across as. I like the track, and I'm not trying to get them in any trouble or anything, if somebody don't realize it, but they allowed Fayetteville to now have fans. Triple T Raceway, our buddy Terry Odom, promoter up there, guess what? They're now allowing them to have fans. They got a backyard series race coming up there. But for whatever reason, Roy Cooper is trying to single out a speedway. And the sheriff in, I think it's called Alamance County, I want to say it is. He seems like a smart dude. Got a good head on his shoulders. Because he did his research into that thing. And he said he could not cite them for something that the governor was allowing to happen throughout the rest of the state.
Right.
So he seems to have a good. Well, now the governor has come in and mandated a shutdown on the track, and
yeah, I think he's opening a big can of worms there.
I think he is too.
That's gonna hurt him more than anybody. And and this ain't no political podcast, and I don't want to get into any of that. But what I want to get into, and what upsets me is these racetracks, these local racetracks that try their best to be able to make it, and they don't make no damn killing.
No,
they don't make no. You don't see them out here on damn yachts anywhere and stuff. But they try their best to promote to keep these racetracks going. They just been shut down for 3 freaking months. Okay? They get the opportunity to race. Everything's good. Everything's okay. Ain't nobody foaming at the mouth and stuff. Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the government has got to try to run their shit again. And that's what's kind of frustrating to me is, everybody has done what they asked. Everybody's done everything, whatever. You look in the news and there's nothing wrong with mass gathering for a protest. That's perfectly fine. But to sit in a grandstand and watch a race is a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing against a speedway. It ain't that big of a damn racetrack. There ain't that many people there.
Exactly. I mean, they got a good bit of stands around the track, but it ain't that many.
There ain't that many damn people there. So, that's what I hate is people trying to rule and regulate everything. I hope the best for Ace. We're going to back him, like you said. I really hope that, it'll come out on top. And, man, I'm telling you what, they opening a can of worms. That's all I know.
Yeah, they are. And if you haven't seen it, go look on. We shared it on our page. I think it's on Ace Speedway's page too. There's a GoFundMe already set up for Ace Speedway lawyer fees because I think they're going to need it here soon.
Yeah.
Regardless, it'll help out. If you don't need them, maybe they'll just put money in a purse.
Put money in a purse. Have a big race. We'll go up there too. We'll stand around there.
Heck yeah.
We'll participate. We'll protest.
We'll do a podcast from the track. I don't care.
Absolutely right.
I'll tell you what. They ran a race there this past weekend.
They did, man.
And it was so funny because the sign outside said it was a peaceful protest.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting at, man. It's freaking awesome. But there was a lot of protesting and bull jiving and honky tonking going on up in there because our buddy that we follow, try to see how well he can do, and he drives for Dale Jr. in a late model stock car. Right. Anyway, Mr. Josh Berry, I tell you what, he has been pushed on for a long time by a lot of drivers, and I think he finally done had enough of it. Mr. Bobby McCarty, he took him out, son. He took him out, and Josh ended up being a lap down or so.
Change my tires.
Old Josh was none too happy.
That's what it reminded me of. Days of Thunder. Change my tires.
Exactly, because he went out there and he was patiently waiting to see that Bobby McCarty come back around, and he dumped him, son.
No, he put him head on into
He dumped him, and he said it. He admitted it. He wasn't hiding nothing. He was tired of it.
And they suspended him for one race.
And that's okay. That's what they want to do.
Might be worth it.
I promise you.
I bet you Bobby McCarty won't run all over him like he did again.
I guarantee he won't. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I didn't get to see any of that race or see any highlights other than Josh and Bobby were fast. and they just were trying to go for the same real estate. And I don't know if Bobby just wasn't patient enough or whatever, but I do know from watching Josh Berry in recent years, Josh is very passive. He kind of just lets everything go.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he lets people run him kind of hard, and, you know, he'll run somebody clean as hell to pass him clean as he can do it.
Yep.
And he didn't get that in return, and he finally had enough of it. And I'm all for it. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Makes for awesome. Gives us something to talk about, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm all behind him on that. You can't take so much off somebody. I understand not wanting to tear your stuff up, and, you know, being conservative and live to race another day. But at some point, you get done with it. You're done with it.
Absolutely.
But anyway, talking about fans back at the track, NASCAR this week at Homestead is going to start allowing some fans back at the track. Homestead is local area military families, I think it is, or something like that. Military,
up to like 1,000 or something people.
Up to 1,000 people. So you still on TV, you're not going to see anybody in the stands.
No,
because 1,000 people there won't even look like anybody's there.
Exactly.
But then Talladega is where it gets a little strange to me.
Yeah, I didn't catch the whole thing. I saw like 6,000 or 7,000 allowed.
Yeah,
but it's first come, first serve, and up to 150-mile radius of the racetrack.
Right, but that's not even what gets strange to me. What gets strange to me is they told them no coolers, no this, no that, no tailgating.
Right, you can bring a clear bag of sealed foods.
Yeah, my thing is, why can't I bring a cooler? Because they want you to go up there. I mean, I understand, you know, if the track just didn't allow coolers, I understand it. But NASCAR races have always allowed coolers, small coolers. But I think I should bring something from my house that I know that I had.
Well, you know,
and throw away. But yeah, now you got to go to a concession stand and get something that 47 people have touched.
Exactly. If that's the problem, it's not to me. I really don't care.
No.
But you know, I'm trying to build my immune system, not tear it down, but that's for another day. But the way I look at it is, and the way I compare it to is I can fill up my cooler with 12 Miller Lights for, what, $8? Whatever it is. It ain't that much.
No.
I can go to the concession stand and get one beer for $8.
Maybe.
That's the difference to me. So I look at it as another reason for them to get more money from you.
Well, and it may be that may be the whole thing. It may be. I've said for years that I'm really surprised that NASCAR has kept on allowing coolers.
Exactly, like, you know, NFL or baseball. You can't take beer in there with you. Whatever.
Right.
That's the way for them to get more money from you.
Right.
But you know, this is racing. This is NASCAR.
Exactly.
We're not trying to follow suit, I thought, with other sports, but I guess we have to be like all other sports now and follow suit.
That seems like the way we're going,
and they gonna keep on doing it, and they're not gonna have no fans.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all, and they're pushing away the good old boy fans. They're trying to get these people, like we said before, and it needs that damn 5-6G whatever to be able to look at their phone the whole time. They got to have these people that's got to have these lazy boys to sit in the grandstands.
Oh, yeah. Take out a row so I can put a counter here for you to.
They got to have a flipping mall at Daytona now to be able to draw people up in there to watch the race.
And still can't fill it up.
So if that's the people they're trying to get, and they're trying to get away all these other good old boy, regular, where it came from fans, and they're doing a good job of it, because they ain't going to be nobody there. They ain't, and they gonna fill up a lot of grandstands with dirt.
Yeah,
they gonna put a lot of sponsorships across stands because they ain't gonna fill them seats up.
And I don't want to. We're not going to try to offend anybody on here. We're just telling you the news. And Sterling over here trying to stab something.
Pissed off.
He's pissed off over here, but Just telling you the news. If you hadn't seen it, Bubba Wallace was pushing for he thought the Confederate flags they shouldn't be on NASCAR property anymore. Well, during pre-race stuff today,
Martinsville,
Jamie Little, I think, standing on the grid at Martinsville, was able to tell Bubba Wallace that NASCAR just made an announcement. They would not allow any Confederate flags back on any at a NASCAR race anymore at all.
Yep. And that's sad to me because, you know, I'm not that much of a well-educated person, and, you know, but I do know how to read, and I do know how to study history enough to know what that flag represents. And I know that it does not represent evil and hatred for a certain race.
No, it doesn't.
It does. It is never that. But there is a persona, or there's people see it as a certain thing because of television, because of reporting, because of movies, because of whatever. They see it as a certain thing, and that upsets me because, my opinion, I'm all for. I love everybody. I love every single person that respects me because I'm gonna respect them. Somebody that does not, I don't care what color you are. That has absolutely no matter to me. But it's hard to respect someone that's trying to steal from you, that's trying to rob you, and I don't care what color you are. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. So I just wish people would say, instead of these, you know, the Black Lives Matter and all this, to me, God's people is all color. There's no, he doesn't see color.
That's what he said. He said we all mattered.
So, you know, I'm not looking for something that needs to be, some race needs to be treated differently than this other race. I say we all need to be treated the same.
That's right.
And if a black person is treated unfairly, then that needs to be dealt with properly. Doesn't mean that how many ever police officers need to be shot or killed because of it. Doesn't mean that you need to flip over police cars in the middle of the streets. It don't mean that you got to tear up innocent stores or shops or whatever these people are, you know, trying to survive. It's just a big mess, and I think this whole movement thing has just gone a little bit too far, in my opinion. I think people need to try to channel it differently and positively.
Well, they need to talk to each other. They need to talk to each other, in my opinion, and not just each other that's in their group. They need to branch out and talk to everybody.
Yep.
Instead of just assuming this, that, and the other about this other group of people.
Right.
And I don't, like Sterling said, I don't care what color you are, red, yellow, black, white, purple, blue. The only thing I'm worried about some Purple Springs, but
that's a bad spring.
I don't care. Talk with each other. Talk with your neighbor. Get a case of beer. Drink a beer with your neighbor.
Well, and that's the thing too, dude. Is, I mean, you know, like the people that we know. I know a bunch of black people. I'm friends with a pile of them, and dude, they think this is more crazy than I do, even.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it's a media-driven thing, I think, and I know we're getting deep
is.
Into it on here, and this isn't our type of podcast for that.
But everybody's talking about it, so I mean, I feel obliged that we need to, kind of somewhat. So, but you know, you look on TV, and I try not to watch the news much because it's so daggone depressing and all this, but. You know, all these cities that this, you know, all this looting and all that goes on is just it's a radically left city. And they're, you know, it's like it's allowed in those cities. It's being allowed, and I just don't understand that. Why does someone want to just totally deface their community and
that was
towns?
just like here, Florence, South Carolina, we had, I think it was about 3 or 4 scheduled protests.
Yep.
Downtown at the courthouse. And hey, I'm all for, if you want to protest something, have at it, as long as it is a respectful, peaceful protest, legitimate protest. Have at it, jump on it if you believe it. Tell everybody about it. That's great. Well, the night before all these protests were scheduled, mysteriously these stacks of bricks just started showing up on these street corners.
Yep.
And I will give it to our local, I'll say it straight out, I mean, whatever, our local NAACP organization here told them they were not doing that in our town.
Right.
They were not ruining these family-owned businesses in our town.
Exactly.
And that's what we stand for, too.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not that different, but the media wants to.
Well, they feed off of that, and they try to draw and drive a wedge in between, the colors, to make a race situation, and it's not. Everybody loves everybody. Dadgummit, just if you a crook, if you a criminal, if you whatever, we don't like you. I don't care what color you are. You come in my house, I don't care what color you are. You try to steal from me, you gonna get shot. I'm telling you that right now. Come in my house. I'm not gonna look to see. Don't let me see what color you are. I don't care. I don't care. I don't. It doesn't matter. But I would also tell you one thing. I don't care what color you are. If you need help, I'm gonna be there to help you.
Promise you.
So that's the problem that and most 90% probably of Americans think the same exact way. But they're trying to make these groups make it look like they're so much bigger than they are.
Oh yeah.
To make the regular sane people think that this world has, or this country has, all these major dividing issues, and it really doesn't. It's just that we don't have a voice as big as CNN or whatever, that they can make it look so much worse than we can.
Right.
So
and I know you're the same way. I grew up, my dad was a mechanic all his life till the day he retired. I never saw or worried about color. It just was. I didn't care what color you were. I didn't care what color anybody was.
No.
I remember some of my dad's best friends. I mean, just throwing it out there. Some of my dad's best friends when I was younger were black guys. So guess what? I hung out with their sons. We never had a problem. Played football, played sports with all these guys. They were my best friends. I mean, growing up, I mean,
it's
not the problem that they think it is.
It's not in color. It's in the wrong groups, in the wrong crowds.
Exactly.
And there's crowds of black people that get in the wrong crowd, and they don't have some of the the guidance that is needed.
And guess what? There's the same thing in white folk.
Exactly. There, I can go somewhere right now and show you the worst part of town in the world. That's a bunch of white folks that just don't have good upbringing and don't know how to treat people, and they gonna treat you just the same as they would treat a black person. It don't make no difference. It's upbringing, and I think we can get more back into being the proper upbringing and teach people history, man. I want people to understand what history is, and don't erase history. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's bad. It doesn't matter. It's history.
Well, it's just like Hitler. We can't erase Hitler.
No, it was horrible.
But we need to learn from Hitler.
We need to learn from it and understand it. And the Confederate flag and the Confederacy, and there's so much positive that came from that. People just need to study it and understand it, and don't look at the negative of it. Don't watch a movie that shows a slave getting beat and think, oh, that's all that was. And it wasn't. There was,
Well, the thing was, I will say it that yes, there was that in the South. Guess what? There was also that in the North.
Oh, absolutely. There was tremendous amounts.
Was it right? No,
it was not.
It wasn't right in the North. It wasn't right in the South.
At the same hand, there's a lot of black families and generations and descendants that would have never been here today if it not for some good families that they were surrounded with.
That's right.
That made sure that they ate 3 times a day. That made sure they had somewhere to live. That made sure, yes, they had to work. It was different in those times. I mean, it's the way it was paid for was different. But understand what you're mad about before you be mad about it. My opinion. I mean, it's just a big whole deal. And like I said, I don't want to get all into it, but I feel like I said we had to talk about it some. I just don't want it to get carried away. I don't want this Black Lives Matters deal to turn into something that it's not. And I want everybody to be respected that wants to be and is willing to be and are willing to respect everyone.
Exactly.
I'm all for, man.
Exactly. Well, boy, we have
this was a major. We might have to do like a 2-part deal or something.
We have rambled on.
Jesus. Yes. Yeah, we got to go.
We still got to go clean up tools from working on my truck. We was in a hurry.
It was rushing. Anyway, it was fun. It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
We'll do it again next week.
Do it again next week, man.
Same time, same place.
Same place. Right here.
Right here.
Dale Jr. running Homestead this weekend. Y'all check it out.
He is running Homestead. He likes any track he can run the wall, I think.
The wall. That's where he wants to run.
The wall. Anyway, well, y'all have a good weekend. Go watch as much racing as you can. Get to your local short track if you can. Support everybody who's supporting racing because they need it right now. Like we said, Ace Speedway, go support them in any way you can. If you can go to the track, if they open it back up, go to the track. If not, get on their social media. Tell them you out there supporting them. Like I said, there is a GoFundMe page set up for them. Give them a few dollars if you can, because they're gonna need it here soon, I think. Forward Bite. Appreciate Mark coming on here again tonight. Y'all go check out forwardbiteco.com.
Yeah, get you some nice stuff, man. Richardson hats. I'm telling you, they got some nice stuff, man. Telling you. Good looking shirts. Some more stuff to come. So be on the lookout Friday.
A lot of cool stuff to come from them. They're growing big time. Like we've been pushing the past few weeks, the Checkered social media app. Get on it. If you're not on it yet, get on it. It's a lot of fun. I talked with Rico Abreu on there the other night. Ordered me a mask. I don't think that's what he's calling them, but ordered me a mask. It's pretty cool looking. I have to take a picture of it when I get it. It's funny. So get on Checkered app. Go talk with us. Talk with you. A bunch of drivers on there now. Getting more and more every day. A lot of tracks adding on. And last but definitely not least, and one of our most important companies, supporters, everything on here, SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, and Draco Springs.
Yes, sir.
Y'all get out there, get you some. Check it out much as you can. We appreciate everything they do for us. Y'all support them as much as you can. Remember, promo code CBONE10. Get you 10% off of your SRI order. That is C as in
chicken. B as in bone.
Chicken bone.
Whichever.
CBONE10.
CBONE10.
CBONE10. Get on there. Get your order up. Save you some money. So we appreciate y'all listening to us again this week. I know it's a long episode, but we had fun.
So. As always.
But anyway, I'm out.
Later.